My name is Jalen Allen. I am half black and half white. My white part's all mixed up and shit, so I don't know what that is.
What do you like to do?
Fuck, I don't know. Like, I like to play video games. I like to design stuff with Photoshop and Illustrator. I like to make money. That's nice. Next question, please.
All right. Are you going to college?
Yes, I'm going to the Art Institute of Portland, and I'm going to study graphic design.
That's cool. What do you plan to do with that?
Well, the end goal is kind of to work for a design firm.
Do you plan on doing any internships?
Maybe. That'd be cool.
Now we're going to get into some of the more serious questions, okay?
Okay.
Do you feel like your race affected you in a negative or positive way, or neutral, growing up?
I don't know. Growing up, I didn't really think about that as much. I don't think it affected me negatively. I think that my race, or my ethnicity rather, has affected me in amazing ways, positive ways. That I'm in a unique position. You first realize, like, what that is. And it's an interesting situation. Like, examples like when I was out with my dad, like going to the grocery store, and then you're standing next to your dad, and the cashier's like, "Oh, are you guys together?" And it's like, yeah, this is my dad. What's the issue? And he's like, he's a lot darker than me. A lot of people don't always realize that I'm half black. Light-skinned people, like, usually realize they're like, oh yeah, he's half black.
I just feel like that's something that people in our generation don't really think about that much. We don't
maybe that's the problem.
Think it's a problem?
Yeah, I think people are ignorant of that.
You're saying
you have to, like,
you shouldn't be colorblind. Is kind of what you're saying.
That's that in my opinion is the dumbest fucking thing ever. It's like, oh, I don't see color. I think that is just silly, because you clearly do, and it whether you think about it consciously or subconsciously, that's something that is going through your mind. You shouldn't judge someone based on their skin color, but it's part of them. It's part of their identity.
The initial question was, how did race affect you in your early years? You think overall
positive.
Was there a moment that you noticed things changed?
I don't know the exact year, but I probably middle school, and it's this thing that sort of describes my situation. Too white to be black, but too black to be white. So you're in an odd position. You fit in both categories, but you don't fit in either. Black kids don't think you're black, and then white kids are like, oh yeah, he's black, and then they're like, they want to say racist shit. I'm like, no, and then they're like, what do I do with myself? And then they're like, well, you're not even that black. I don't care what color I am. I don't care if I was purple. Like, you shouldn't be a racist or say racist things. I don't find it funny. Not everybody realizes I'm black at first. You might catch someone saying something they wouldn't if they knew I was.
Do you ever feel like you don't fit in, or do you feel like you do fit in?
I fit in everywhere. Like a chameleon. I don't struggle with that. I've never struggled with my identity. I'm just me. No one else can be me, and I can't be anybody else, and I wouldn't want to be anybody else.
What was your high school experience like?
Just normal high school. I don't know. Everybody talks about how they're gonna miss it when it's gone, and I fucking don't.
What about in regards to race?
It's a lot whiter. I mean, there's about as equally amount of like Mexican kids there, but it's so much whiter. And it was pretty white in Southeast Portland. Compared to Tualatin, you can probably count the amount of black people that are in that school on two hands. Realistically, there's probably a classroom full. People just don't realize. It's not like they're being intentionally racist. Just ignorant. I think those two things go hand in hand. One time I was in English class and we were talking about what the N-word meant. This girl thought that it was a descriptor word. I have to like be this like conduit for black people and which I think is so stupid. I don't think any person should like be a spokesperson or a mascot or like a speaking for all. Like, that just doesn't make any sense, because everybody's individual and their experience is individual. But this girl thought that the N-word was a descriptor word, and I was just like, do you describe someone with such like a hateful word? Should I just be like, oh, that's a descriptor word. Okay, then you're a bitch. That describes who you are as a person. No, it's not that simple. It's a derogatory term used to put people down. same as any other curse word. This girl believed that it was a descriptor word and that you use that to describe black people. Like that's a, you know, a nigger over there. Like I was baffled. And I was trying to explain that, and then she just cuts me off and it's like, it's a descriptor word. And I was like, I was real mad. This girl sitting right in front of me, she's like, I just don't get why they don't get used to it. I looked at her and I was like, has anyone ever treated you so horribly and just vilely like that? And she just looks at me, just doesn't know what to say. And I was like, I didn't think so. You have to listen to people. You have to listen to people, even if they do, especially if they don't agree with you. So you can talk about what, like, you'll never accomplish what you want to happen if you just don't talk to the opposition. Like, how do you expect to create change? As if you shout, I don't want to hear it, you know? I yelled at her. I was like, I can't deal with this shit. I can't believe that you're saying things like this. And I was about to storm out of the room, and my teacher's like, hey, wait. And then he's like, thank you. He's like, thank you. That hits you. It hits you in the gut. But like,
how often have you been sworn at like that in high school?
Oh, had people say racial slurs to me?
Yeah.
All the time. People think that it's fine because I'm half black.
How do you usually respond?
I'm like, no, don't fucking talk to me like that. They're like, oh. They just sort of like lose their mind a little bit. Like, they don't know what to do. They get defensive, and then they're like, well, you're not that black. Once again, the too white to be black thing and the too black to be white. I don't know, one time we're in track practice, this kid's like, quit being such a nigger. I won't name names, but there's this particular like kid who I just fucking despise. He liked to say that shit and then run away, because I'm not gonna like go looking for a fight or anything, but if you're gonna like stand in my face and call me that, I'm gonna knock your fucking teeth out.
Have you ever been rejected?
No.
No.
I feel like I pass too easily for white to be rejected.
Have you ever felt uncomfortable in a situation because of the demographic of the people around you, whatever race?
Yeah. I mean, that situation I was talking about, it's not often enough that I feel like that. I mean, it's a little uncomfortable when you're out with your family and people are like, are you all together? And you're like, yeah. Yeah, I am. One time I was at the airport. This like TSA lady's like asking people to come up in the line, and I'm staying with my dad. The lady's like, excuse me, sir, like looking at me, and is like, you need to come over here. And I'm like, I'm with my family right here. And she's like, I'm like, yeah.
On behalf of you, is there anything that you feel like you've wanted to tell people about who you are, or?
I mean, I don't really care what people think about me, because if you don't like me, how I present myself to everyone, then I don't want you in my life.
Have you ever felt like you've missed out on an opportunity? Like, have you ever tried to get a job somewhere and?
No, not because of my race. I'm willing to work hard, and I present myself in a way that is professional. So I find it very easy for myself to find a job. Looking back,
is there anything that you would have changed?
I wouldn't change anything. I don't have any regrets. My experience is what makes me me. I'm a different person than I was a year ago, you know? Because just you experience things. I wouldn't change anything because I like being me. I think that I'm blessed for feeling that way.
What are your thoughts on like people saying all lives matter versus Black Lives Matter?
In the beginning, it wasn't a chant that was like Black Lives Matter more. And a lot of people thought that that's what it meant. It's that they matter. The outrage is from the idea that Black lives don't matter and that you can just shoot an unarmed person. My dad could have been one of those people. He got pulled over because his windows were too tinted. The cop comes out of his car with his hand on his gun and is approaching the car with his hand on his gun, like ready to draw. And my dad is over here like freaking out, like throws his wallet on the dash, has his hands up when the cop comes up, and he's like, oh, I'm not gonna like do anything. I'm got my hands up and everything. There's my license and everything. I just don't want to get shot. That's a real thing. That's what people have to deal with.
If there was something that you could go back in time and tell yourself as a kid, anything that you could go back, positive or negative, and tell yourself as a kid, what would it be?
Not to worry about what other people think. I mean, everybody does still, just at some point. I mean, I do sometimes, but like, I try to give less of a shit.
Do you think that there's a moment that you learned not to let people affect how you view yourself?
I was in middle school and I cared a lot about what people thought about me. If you're just real with people and you're nice to everybody, and the people who are assholes, you cut them out of your life, then you will have so many friends. Yeah, I tell my younger self, don't be an asshole. Just listen to what people have to say. Be fucking patient. If you're not patient with yourself, you're not patient with the people around you, you will disappoint yourself and people will disappoint you. Old people, they're wise, not because they're smarter than you, but because they've had a lot more time to fuck up than you.
What would you say to the people out there who struggle with their identity because they are biracial?
Don't try to choose one or choose the other. Embrace that you are both. You can't ever not be both. It matters where you come from, and your culture matters. But don't let it put you in a box. Oh yeah, now I know what I tell my younger self. Don't let people take you, put you in a box, and throw you away. People like to categorize people. Oh, you're this, you believe this. People are so much more complex than that. You can't be simplified down to just a few core beliefs and your racial identity or your political identity. I don't necessarily fit in any of the boxes. So I feel like I freak some people out. I don't pretend to be any sort of expert or that I am this all-knowing person or that I speak for all of black people or all of white people or mixed people. I'm just talking about my experience.
Anything that you feel like you want to say?
I think I said it all.
All good? That was a lot.
Hey, get me talking. Can't get me shut up.